What you're about to see is a sample of statements made by victims and qualified experts who believe it's essential that you understand the dark and dangerous side of Hillary Rodham Clinton. In the upcoming videos, we will expose dozens of scandals based upon eyewitness interviews and facts which most Americans have never seen or heard, and the Clinton crime family is desperately seeking to cover up. My name's Pat Matriciano. I've been a video journalist for almost 45 years. I've interviewed thousands of people on almost every continent. I've infiltrated communist meetings, radical Islamic groups, as well as satanic and witch covens. Footage I've shot has been used on television stations throughout the world. Investigative reporters posing as journalists have been murdered on account of these stories. I'm here to report to you the facts and the truth this corrupt system doesn't want you to hear. One thing I've learned, if you want to know something about a person, you need to check their background. And that's why I am very concerned about Hillary Clinton becoming the President of the United States, because the more you check her background, the scarier she becomes. I wanted to interview a number of people all in one room, that these people were all very close to Bill Clinton, mainly former or active law enforcement. Some had been part of the Rose Law Firm and a very close colleague of Hillary Clinton's. Some had been really victims of the Clinton regime. Some had been bodyguards to the Clintons. And I asked them a number of questions on camera. And what they told me was really interesting. They told me that Bill Clinton had been involved in many, many cover-ups. Not only the Whitewater cover-up, not only the death of 2 boys that were killed on some railroad tracks, not only the importation of drugs into Arkansas, he knew all about it. Our sources, many of them, have told us that Bill Clinton was getting a piece of all the drugs that would come into Arkansas. This is the United States of America. You know, things like this shouldn't happen. Well, this happened to me when I was investigating a murder that took place in the Little Rock, Arkansas area. I had an apartment there for some time, and it was kind of a safe house. Journalists would come, and I had an extra bedroom that they could stay in, and I spent a lot of time in Arkansas investigating the Clintons. When I was tried in Arkansas over my film, Obstruction of Justice, a lot of things came to the surface that I didn't really know. 2 of my witnesses, one of them vanished. Nobody knows what happened to him. But there was a moratorium in any kind of an investigation by the White House until it looks like all of these records were cleared out. The other one actually died by a blow to the head a couple days before I was going to depose him. They're trying to take away my freedom of speech by saying I can't talk about a public official even when I have overwhelming evidence to prove this. I watched as these people lied under oath. Unbelievable. And one of the things that has been very, very peculiar was the death of Vince Foster. Now, Vince Foster was her partner in the Rose Law Firm. He also came to Washington, D.C. with her as an attorney for the president. One day he came to one of my colleagues and said to him, "I'm very, very, very concerned about my personal safety." He said, "Why?" He says, "Well, I've got information that I don't want to have to give out because it's going to get us all in the trouble." And of course, it had to do with the Whitewater investigation, really into the crimes committed by the Clintons that had been covered up by his former colleagues. I've done a lot of investigating over the years, but when you investigate the Clintons, you've got people kicking your door in trying to assassinate one of your colleagues, and they're very dangerous people. As an investigative journalist, it's very, very important that you develop relationships with people who give you proper information. You develop relationships with government officials. When I started working on the videos that dealt with the Clinton regime, I was surprised one day when I got a call from a friend of mine who was actually a federal agent. He said, "Pat, we need to meet and we need to talk. I've got some things I need to tell you. We can't talk over the phone." And he came out of the office and said, "I don't think we can talk in here." office could be bugged. So we went outside and he began to tell me a story that was very scary. He said, Pat, my colleagues in the agency know that you're making a movie that deals with the President of the United States. And I want to tell you that it's very dangerous. The Justice Department is over the FBI, and the President controls the Justice Department. The U.S. Attorney General is the one that basically calls the shots. And if that person is not your friend, this force can be used against you. That's why we've got to be very careful who we elect to office. And that's why I'm terrified of Hillary Clinton getting in office, because she has already abused those offices as a Secretary of State, as a senator, and the next president of the United States.
Most Americans have no idea what life would be like in this country if Hillary Clinton were elected president. So I've asked a number of very prominent people what they think.